Puppies' sharp little teeth can hurt and they can be really frustrating. I'm gonna give you everything you need to know in order to stop puppy biting. This is Miles, the Double Doodle, and I'm Vivi with Loving Dog Training. Let's get started. Puppies explore the world with their mouth just like we do with our hands. And while their teeth are coming in, they can be more irritable as well because it does cause them pain and their gums do swell. It's important to understand why puppies are mouthing you first. That way you can be more patient and more empathetic. Try to keep a positive and hopeful mindset because puppy mouthing takes a long time to get through and it doesn't happen overnight. Every puppy goes through this as their teeth come in. Although it takes time, there are a lot of things that we can do to avoid being mouthed as well. It's important to respect your puppy's boundaries. There are times when they don't want to be pet, like when they're laying down in their bed comfy and cozy. This is when puppies mouth the kids the most, as the kids want to always pet the puppy when they're calm because they feel more comfortable. But that's likely when your puppy is more irritable, so make sure that you're respecting those boundaries. Every time that you do want to go and pet your puppy, you can give them a bone, like a yak bone to chew on, or one of their toys. This is called the pacifier method, and it just lets them know that when you're going up to pet them, that they can have something else in their mouth other than your hand. If you are petting your puppy and they do start to mouth you, you can either take away your hand nice and slowly, or you can walk into another room. This includes walking into their playpen area, walking into a pantry door, walking outside. It's just important to remove yourself or your hand. That's a big consequence for them as they are likely mouthing for your attention. Pushing them will only cause them to get more amped up, and then they'll start wanting to play with you as if it's a game and start to mouth you a little bit harder as well. Telling them no or no biting is still giving them attention, so it's just feeding into the behavior a lot more. Doing other things like tapping their nose when they do start to mouth you will actually lead them to be more scared of you, other people, and hands coming toward them. So it's important that we don't add punishment like pain. Toys are one of the best ways to redirect your puppy when they are mouthing on you, but it can be really hard when you try to pick up a toy that's been on the floor for 3 weeks and you try to give it to them. It's important to rotate toys throughout the week. You can even do this every few days. You take a few toys, put them in a box and put them up, and then you leave 5 toys out in hotspot zones. Hotspot zones would be one behind the couch, one in the front door, one outside, one in the living room, possibly one in the bedroom as well, places where they're more likely to mouth you. It's important to have these toys so that way you can bring them out when they do start mouthing on you, and then you can rotate and bring other toys into the mix so that way toys stay nice and exciting. It's important to create an off switch for our puppies. If they're out for 16 hours a day, you're going to be creating an Olympic dog. Puppies actually need 16 to 20 hours of sleep. You can Google your breed and your dog's age and see exactly the amount of sleep that they need. Try not to leave your puppy out of the crate for more than 3-hour intervals. After 3 hours, they're very likely to be overstimulated, and that's likely when they will do things like run around the house, jump all over the couch, and really start to bite on you where they really think it's a game. Creating a crate routine for your puppy on day 1 is very important. Without it, your puppy will become anxious because they don't know what the day will bring them. In the morning, your puppy is the most active, but it's important to actually put your puppy back into their crate after getting their morning zoomies out and using the restroom. You teach your puppy to then calm down instead of teaching them to be super amped at 7 a.m. and go on a 30-minute run. You'll have more time for yourself and to do the things that you need to do in order to put your best foot forward. This will help so that way you don't get frustrated in the morning and carry that on throughout the day. I have a PDF on how to create a puppy routine linked in the description. Mental stimulation is just as important, if not more important, than physical stimulation. You can mentally tire your puppy out in a few different ways. Decompression walks are a wonderful way. Mental games like puzzles and toys are awesome. Teaching them fun different games is wonderful. I have a game on Find It in my Instagram. And training throughout the day as well. That'll get them a lot more tired than just taking them on a 30-minute walk. If you're not tiring your puppy out mentally, then they're left with a lot of that adrenaline still in their mind. And so then they get into all of these zoomy moments. So it's important to take note of when your puppy is the most active and when they're the most tired. If you see that they're always the most active around 3 to 4 p.m. and then 7 to 8 p.m., which are the normal times, then you can take those times and switch them into crate times, and then their less active times into training times. Puppies learn bite inhibition, how hard they can bite and how long they can bite from their mom and from their siblings. It's important to keep up with that once you get them at 8 weeks old. You can do that by getting them to socialize with other puppies around their age, as well as older dogs. This will teach them a lot of social cues. Only dogs can teach them these social cues, and they'll learn things like when to back off, when to play, when the biting is too hard, and when they're able to go ahead and have fun. A lot of people that have older dogs and then get a puppy struggle a lot with the bite inhibition. It's really important that your puppy is playing with other dogs, not just the dogs that are in the household. If they don't know what a correction is, they will think that it's playing and they will even try harder. If you're not sure if your dog has bite inhibition, what will happen is your dog will bite a lot harder than normal. That'll leave you with like bruises, cuts, or open wounds. It's totally okay to roughhouse with your puppy. Just make sure that you bring a toy when you do it and that they're only biting on the toy. If they start to bite on you, stand up and then give them a second to relax, and then you can try again. There are moments like when you come home from work or when you're first letting them out of the playpen or crate that they're the most excited to see you. So that's also when they're most likely to mouth you. As for the toy, it should be something that comes out as soon as you come in or you let them out of the kennel, and then it goes back up and then it comes back out again in those moments. That way they stay excited by that toy. That's it.